you want to come out here? Some challenges are a bit easier to describe than others. This is John Robertson. Quite simply, he has a bike strapped to him for 27 hours.
Christ, I wish I was going to Nando's.
You still can, you still yeah. The origins of this task were that John was talking about, maybe I could, he said I could learn a song on the ukulele every hour, but it just seems a bit kind of easy. So we have got a ukulele, he can play a ukulele very well, John. But I felt that I could get more out of him. So I asked him to think about unpleasantness, and the initial idea was just to be on a bike for 27 hours, but the tyres are bust. So we've compromised and he has to have it strapped to him for 27 hours. There are various reasons why you shouldn't have a bike.
Yep.
Some of those will be
perhaps a long list of them, I think, would be a good idea right about now.
How long do you think that you can do this before it really is, like, awful?
I've lost feeling in my left arm.
There we are, and that's quite bad.
Donate now!
Some of the challenges are just pure pain, but it's alarming.
I've paid good money for more pain than this.
Well,
it's a great
that's
time.
The thing, to be fair. I mean, people do like suffering.
Hello, children.
He's not exactly joking either. John's got to check your past. We've got a gimp here anyway.
Oh, yes!
So, basically, John's from Australia. Actually, so it's mentioned, people have had that start in life and still got on with it. Oh, by the way, we've got people, you can't watch in Australia this time because it's what we call geo-locked, because last time some people in America who are what we call One Direction fans watched a bit which is what we call obscene. So this year...
Are you saying underage children saw something they shouldn't have?
No, I'm not saying it, I'm just remembering it. So this time, some of current release, what we call lawyers, are more interested in the show than they were last time.
What we call lawyers?
Yes, last time the show went under the radar, which means what we call I got away with things. This time there are other... So basically, you can't watch this show in America in case someone kills themselves again. But, no, that didn't happen. A nervous silence there. So definitely sort of more worrying moments than that. But we have got a bloke doing a challenge in Melbourne. I'll come on to that shortly. We're going to be Skyping him. I keep sort of gesturing at the screen confidently as if I can make things happen. But I mentioned John this early because for the large portion of the show you won't see him, but he will just be doing this. Obviously, as the show goes on, we can think of things we'd like him to do with the bike strapped to him. And those can pretty much take any form.
They can be things like sitting down, taking the bicycle off, regretting this dumb choice.
Yeah, well, all right. I'll sponsor you if I were to regret it for the next hour.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So you go away and do that for a bit. Yes, be checking John for regretful signs of regret, physical signs of regret. Giles. Hi, Giles. Yeah. Admin point. I'll give it to you in a minute. So I'll just tell you about the bloke in Melbourne. He's juggling, not for the entire time, but for I think it's 14 hours. Anyway, it will be an official world record. He has someone from Guinness there, and he's been witnessed every. We're going to try and break some more world records shortly as well. We'll come on to that. There's a lot of things to come on to. So pretty soon we're going to try and Skype this guy. He starts at 10 o'clock our time. He starts 1 hour into this show, 9 o'clock Australian time. But we might have what we call his phone number wrong, so we're just checking that. That's a bit of admin. Everything's fine. I'll give you the. So it's in a direct message, but so my God, you're regretting it. There we go. I don't know how to. If you look in the direct messages, okay, fine. Other challenges. There are quite a number in the lobby, by the way. Yes, I was going to say I'm worried when people like John say things like this already hurts, because we're not quite halfway through it yet. Another example of that is there are 3 people in the lobby playing darts. If you remember that guy that played Countdown for the whole time last time, on that occasion he was locked away in a really cold place. We went for a visit at one point and it really was fucking awful down there. So he's been upgraded to the lobby. Still doesn't get to see the show, that's for next time. By the end of this he will have done, I suppose, 52 hours in total without ever getting any entertainment. He and 2 other guys are playing darts in the lobby, but one of them, as they were setting up, said, "Oh, my shoulder's a bit sore already." So that again augurs badly. There are quite a lot of tasks like that require physical endurance. There are some that require various types of horror, like John's. There's been one challenge which has been, I think, more controversial than any of the others. I mean, there's no nice way to say this, basically. John Luke Roberts over there, and this challenge is already presumably underway. I'm actually going to get him down here. Do you want to come down here, Luke, if you are fine at this point? Yeah, do bring an illustrative lemon. So this man, John Luke Roberts, is going to eat a lemon every 10 minutes for the show. Now there are quite a few problems with this. Yes, see what you're complaining about? Excellent! What's the matter with you? All you've got is a bike on your fucking shoulder. Now... He deserves that. He deserves more than that. Luke was in the show last time. He did a sponsored trial separation, you might remember, where he pretended that he split up with his girlfriend and lived as a singleton for it. Amusingly, after the show, he did split up with his girlfriend. So we can't do a stunt like that again. During his Edinburgh show, John Luke ate a couple of lemons. It was really funny. Did anyone see his Edinburgh show? Yeah, so it's really good. That was a couple of lemons. This is very much a case of 162, is it?
Yeah, if we don't mention the final tally like so early on, it might help me.
An unspecified number of lemons, but it is at the rate of... now, we've done a little bit of health and safety on this because your mum's a doctor, is that right? And she reckons it, quote, won't kill him.
No, she said if she can't see a way it could do any deadly harm.
So no deadly harm. But there are various obvious problems. I suppose the problem that cries out to you is you're not meant to eat lemons. Like you're meant to use them to season things, or maybe you can suck on, or you have a bit of... But you're not meant to just eat a lemon. Let alone eat. So have you started this?
Yeah, I'm 4 in. I just thought I'd get up ahead of steam. It's horrible. I've forgotten it's horrible. I don't like eating lemons. I really don't like eating them.
I do wish you thought about that before you...
I haven't eaten them for a while. I thought, I ate them then. That must have been okay.
Yeah, but you were doing it as a stunt, and it was just like 1 or 2 lemons. Okay, well done, mate. We've got the juggler. The juggler's the least of our worries at the moment. So, of the people likely to either die or get very ill, Luke is obviously number 1. So we need to sort of just keep an eye on him. Periodically, I'll be checking in with you. But how do you feel after you've eaten 4 in total? Well, you can see the evidence there.
Well, no, that's a new one I've tried to segment.
Oh, okay, fine.
This is a prepared lemon. This is how you prepare a lemon.
I've heard people that were predicting he wouldn't get beyond 10. That's all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, screw those people. I'll get beyond 10 before midnight. I mean, obviously, I should get beyond 10 before 11.
Yes, if you're going to do what you said, yes, you should have had 12.
No, I don't have to do it every 10 minutes, I have to do it for every 10 minutes.
Ah, I see. So as long as you tally that number in the hundreds that we're not going to mention again. Okay, fine. So you can take sort of lemon sabbatical for potentially a couple of hours, as long as you chomp, say, 20 in the next minute or so after that.
I try to eat like 10 in a go. It's hard. It takes 10 minutes to eat a lemon, it turns out.
One of your issues, really. Yeah. It's not like, for example, eating a Malteser every 10 minutes. I mean, it is...
is it too late to do it? Is that one going? Is the Malteser
Well, if anyone's watching at home and they want to do a Malteser eating challenge or any sort of other eating challenge, it can't be worse than the situation that Luke has got himself into. And I have to keep emphasising, got himself into. This was his own suggestion. There are certain things that I do hold myself responsible for.
You liked the suggestion.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love it now. I really do. And this is one of my favourite challenges. But there's just this sort of troubling inkling in my brain that it could do you lasting damage.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, I know what your stated aim is. How many do you think you can do it? Do you think you can eat that many lemons?
Yeah. It'll be awful if I don't eat a lemon.
Oh yeah, but it'd be awful if you do. I mean, this is all. Yes, get behind him. Because you can say what you like about this guy, but he's going to eat a shitload of lemons, and he shouldn't. Who wants to see a live lemon? So, just in case you're watching thinking, I'm enjoying this conversation, but I don't understand what you meant by eating a lemon. This is what Luke's going to be doing. This is just one segment of one lemon. There's going to be about... He's not even enjoying this, and it's about half an hour in. And this is not an orange. You can do that with an orange. You can't do it with a lemon. He is doing it with a lemon.
You never get used to eating a lemon.
Well, if anyone is in a good position to test that axiom, it is you.
One thing I have found out
lemon facts.
You wouldn't know this from most of your interactions with lemons, but like oranges or satsumas, they come in segments.
It's true, you wouldn't. I suppose unless you might have seen a lemon segment. Yeah. Like sometimes you get a segment with a bit of, oh, off he goes again. I don't know if it's worse that he's got a moustache, but it does somehow, it's going to be ever so lemony, that moustache, before we're done.
I believe in you!
Yeah, there we go. If people can shout things like, I believe in you. Or you might want to shout things like, eat the lemon. Or, I hope you manage to eat the lemon. Eat the lemon.
Eat the lemon!
Be the lemon! Yeah, be the lemon. There we go. So what was that? He's going to bite straight into this one. He's pressing straight into this one. It's awful to watch. He's going right into the lemon like a lemon assassin. It's lemony snicket, and this is a series of unfortunate events. But it's just one event, eating a lemon over and over again. Lou Roberts is an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what he's going to be doing for the next 26 and a bit hours. It's a real shame. Thanks, mate. I mean, you can start, but I think we've got bigger problems than that. This is Corrie. Remember Corrie? Yes, you do. Very little needs to be said about Corrie, except that she's going to be just doing things like that, essentially rearranging the metaphorical deck chairs on the Titanic, occasionally mopping up things which will immediately be replaced by worse things. More about Corrie later. Her role on the show is quite substantial, but it doesn't need describing as urgently as some of the other ones do, because things like that Nando's thing, like the Lemons thing, who else is doing a time-sensitive challenge? That's why, well, I mean, all of them are 27-hour-long challenges. People are doing stuff in this room like knitting, making bracelets, there's all sorts, but there are some which you do need to know about more quickly. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's almost as bad. I'm going to save that. Just very quickly, there's a man outside, also called Mark, who is just going to queue for the show for 27 hours, but never get in. Yes. I don't need to say any more about that, except that now and again I'd like someone to go out and report to him what you've seen. And you can, for example, you can say, oh, there was this thing with lemons, it was really funny actually. He's brought a tent at least, so he'll be quite comfortable. But in the spot where it was initially set up, we realised he might be able to see a bit of the live stream on TV, so we had to move him. Because the whole point is he's not allowed to see any of the show. Right, it's now time to welcome another one of the heroes, if I can use that word, of the last show. If you weren't here, well, if you will, you'll certainly remember, he was custard pie, literally, on the hour. That's right. He's got a slightly different challenge here, which we're going to describe to you together. It is, of course, Tiernan Douier. That's you, mate. This isn't part of his challenge, he's just had some life changes in the past. So, our idea for Tiernan, based on the custard pieing, was that he was going to get drenched every hour. Firstly with like a little, a water pistol, and then it would graduate until eventually he was hosed down by firemen.
Yeah.
We had used that phrase.
Yeah, they were on standards.
Well, we had got as far as actually getting them ready, but unfortunately there's a problem with water and electrics, and everyone died.
And apparently I could have lost an eye if they'd hit the hose in the wrong place. They were a bit,
there we go.
They were a bit wary about it.
If the worst thing happens to someone losing an eye.
So
exactly. Tim is very much in the spirit of this show. So the challenge has been commuted to, for a start, he has to wear a different dress every hour, as in the film 27 Dresses, or none of us has seen that film, we don't know what that means.
I have no idea what happens in the film, but it's very airy, I'm quite comfortable. It sort of swishes as well, it's brilliant. But I've had to make, because I've got a diabetic pump, so I've brought a utility belt. There's the phone, oh yeah, there's the pump. Skills.
There we go, and that won't be all of Tiernan that you see, I sense.
I think I've got 8 dresses, so if anyone has...
Yes, if you're watching this online, you have a dress you can donate. Ideally, like one that would be a real problem to wear. A real problem for someone like Tiernan to wear.
There is one backstage that I'm slightly scared about.
There are already a couple of...
I'll save that.
if you're one of these people, is it London Fashion Week as well?
Yeah.
It was last week, but hey, isn't every week Fashion Week? No, fashion is largely repulsive. But if you're watching from that benighted world, and if you're one of these fashionistas that have peculiar dresses that people wear on the, basically, I'd love to get some real haute couture.
I have a special request for anyone that's a Twitter person. I'd quite like a dress that no one can tell if it's white or gold or black and blue. That would be
yeah, that dress is really going down the storm. If we can get that down here, then we'll start. We should do a test of that.
Oh yeah, it'd be good. Yeah,
we'll just get a normal blue dress and see if it works with that. And especially if you've got one of these costumes that looks like a swan, or basically, but that's not all. Tiernan's general challenge is now he's just going to be tormented by us as a collective for the whole 27 hours. So some of it can still involve being, because you can still be water pistoled a bit.
Oh yeah, I think so, yeah.
Especially if we go outside and stuff. But basically, Tiernan will do within reason anything unpleasant that we set as a task for him.
Can I? Two things. One,
there are some caveats.
I agree to this. I don't know if I read an article the other day that this was going to be called Torment Tiernan. Thanks.
But also, I didn't give it that name.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Okay,
alarmingly, someone has made Torment Tiernan into a thing without me even knowing. Which shows there's a real public appetite for tormenting Tiernan.
So, there are a couple of caveats really with this. Firstly, I've got to do a children's show in Winchester on Sunday at 11:30 in the morning for an hour. So, nothing that would ruin that, please.
So it can't be a swastika on his forehead,
like
not a permanent one.
That would be bad. And secondly, I don't think I've wronged any of you. If I have, it was by accident, so please keep that in mind.
But I would say, and it's my duty to say, as a sort of counterpoint to that, let's really fuck him up a bit. Because we'll get more money that way.
Eat the lemon!
Sorry? But yeah, perhaps a good opening challenge would be if you just take some of the lemon burden off Luke. We need to establish some ground rules actually. If other people, like say Tiernan, helps out eating a lemon, does that come off Luke's? No. Luke himself is shaking his head. No. Luke, to satisfy his sponsorship, Luke himself must eat all of those lemons. Right. So but still, you'll be giving him moral support.
Okay, well I'll eat a lemon with Luke now.
Let's get a lemon down here. Can we get a lemon down here and sit? If you're watching online, you might think most of the show's been eating lemons so far. Tough tits. Yeah. Okay, amazing stuff. Churning update, we already have some butter. This is amazing stuff.
Is it edible?
Yeah, do we put the lemon in some butter or something? It's a bit early for that sort of thing.
I think definitely easing into these torments, aren't we?
So this, you have scones, of course you do. It actually says, worryingly, it says eat quickly on the label. That's fine, it doesn't get quicker than this. They always say hand churn during the 27-hour show with a little like label. How do you get the labels?
Boys,
Fine.
boys, do you want to save that butter because I'm not giving anything away, but there might be some scones soon.
She was just saying she's already got some.
I'm not giving it away, but you might want the butter for some scones.
I don't understand why someone would say that in such a coded way.
To be fair, Emma though, to be fair, I think we've got enough butter for all of the scones. Yeah, don't worry. There's going to be a lot of butter for all of the scones
Our butter supply is not going anywhere anytime soon. This man is basically a cow over there. Do cows make butter or is it sheep? Anyway, there we go. I mean, it smells like butter. It's just, I suppose the majority of butter you consume in your life, you haven't watched a man doing it, unless you work on a farm. Back there, occasionally you can see Twitter and such. Like, soon I might ask for figures on whether anyone is watching online, because if it turns out the feed isn't working, and I don't have any proof that it is, then it will become a different show. I think, is it a case of, like, eat the lemon with some butter smeared on it? And that's a sort of nice... oh, there we go. These people are sadistically miming, dip it. No, you make a fair point, yeah. You don't have to do this, no. All you've got to do is eat 162 lemons, mate. So this is Tiernan's first hour torment. It's gone all the way in, I'm afraid. And he looks as if he's quite liking it. When's he starting? That's fine. Okay, the juggling man is coming on soon, but let's just focus on this man for a minute.
I've also got a paper cut that really hurts now.
I'm eating 160.
I don't think paper cuts are going to particularly
chose to do that. This is being put upon me.
All of us have made life decisions which culminated in us being here now. We're going to put the butter on the bar in the lobby there, and you can donate like bits of cash and have the butter. I don't know how it works. I don't know whether you want to either, given what's going to happen to some of the butter. I've got a nasty feeling that something involving tin and the butter and beans will happen before the end of the show. I didn't say it would happen. I said I had a nasty feeling. So be thinking about that, things that Tiernan might get up to. He's still doing this, by the way. Give him some love, because this is probably not that nice. Whether it should have been an eating challenge as his first torment, I don't know. Bear in mind, every hour we need something for him to do that's going to be... I've still got a list of people that need mentioning here. Yeah?
You need to speak to Chuck.
All right, fine. So slightly ahead of time. It's not the hour mark, is it yet? It can't be. Anyway,
10 minutes away.
10 minutes away. Oh God, we're cracking through, aren't we? There he is, we've nearly done 1 hour and the show is only... This man is in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia, the world's finest city. And here he is. I mean, it doesn't look... Oh, he hasn't started yet, that's why. Is it this mic or Tim or the other one? Hi. Hi. That's me. Hello, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, again, there you go.
Amazing! So Chris, oh, there's another person. There we go. Real Australians. There they are. He's hopping about. These guys are upside down as well, but they've done something with the screen to amend for that. Oh, there's a small, I know, real slice of life down under here. It's a different culture down there, isn't it? People with their garages that don't move sometimes. Again, you don't know if you know, but in Australia people will sort of walk like that. Periodically they freeze for a few seconds. So Chris, he's not fucking with me for they've got a lovely sense of humour. Hello Chris, so we are just an hour into it nearly. I don't know why he's got the glasses on, by the way, because I've never met him. I don't even know him. Hi Chris, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All right, thanks. Obviously, 1 or 2 problems because I've got to do this show. So you are going to juggle. This will be an official world record attempt.
Yeah, correct. 12 hours of current record,
So 12 hours.
Oh, no.
It's the current world record.
Current record, yeah.
There we
So
go.
I get to 7, that's more than double.
I think what he's saying is that he plans to not just break the record, but go for 24 hours. What I want to know is, like, if he drops it or something, is it over or is it? Are you allowed to drop it?
And that's it. If I drop one, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, but it does mean it might take up less of the show I was sort of banking on. We could go back to him in 12 minutes and he's already in the bar. How many? What are they? What are you juggling? Can the audience see that? Yes, they bloody can. Look at that. 3 of those.
Yeah, good.
There we go. So he's going to be juggling those for a minimum 12 hours to break a world record, which would mean that at 10 o'clock in the morning here, it would be, he'd pass. And then you're going to try and go on beyond that.
Well, I'm going to try and go as long as you guys are going, so yeah.
There we go. That's a good effort. Amazing stuff. I've got some ideas about this, which when he's gone, I'll tell you. But so, Chris, now, what's important is we don't want to come across on Skype to you and, in the process, fuck your efforts up. So, have you got someone there that's? Yeah, there we go. Probably too small for me to be swearing. But again, with Australian. What's your name, mate? And how old are you? And is it fine?
12.
Colin.
Oh, Colin.
Cool. So if we cross to you at any time, we're not going to put you off the actual juggling. Is my point.
No, come and talk to me anytime you want.
So you reckon you can keep juggling and still talk to me and this room of people?
That's the theory.
That Australian spirit. Who knows? Who knows if I can do it? Well, that is what we like. And you've got someone there to ratify it if it does become a world record.
Yeah, that's right. So, got witnesses and it's being filmed and it'll be official.
It doesn't look at all real to me.
This is my garage, but other than that, it's all official.
Yeah, we should ask about the glasses. Tina wants to know, are these special juggling glasses, or do you always wear those?
Yeah, no, they're special juggling glasses.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, you don't argue with a pro. Okay, mate. Well, I reckon if we visit you about every 3 hours, then we'll get 3 or 4 goes, and obviously we'll come and watch the record be officially broken if... what am I saying if for? When that happens. When you break the record. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Zampese and the World Juggling Record. And if I was the holder of that record, I'd be very worried now. And he hasn't dropped it yet. Bear in mind, he hasn't officially started yet. That's a bit of physical comedy there. Most of us thought it was over there. But he doesn't officially start until 10 o'clock, thankfully. Just to remind you not to do that again. Okay. Chris is not in the tally because you can't solicit for donations to Comic Relief, but he's doing it for Oxfam instead, who are sort of sisters. So anyway, even this is raising money. But with all due respect to charitable causes, this one is not about money. It's about a man juggling and sort of deteriorates. He looks very, it's a classically sort of fit, confident Aussie. He looks in good shape to do this. But let's see how he looks on Skype in 3 or 6 hours' time. Chris, mate, yeah, do your necessary preparations. And if for whatever reason it does go wrong, we'll come back to you and you can talk us through it anyway. What? Oh, occasionally I forget those guys that are up there in beans. And if you ever hear plaintive cries, it probably means someone's tipped some more beans onto them. In a minute we'll set up an official system like Emma suggested for people being able to buy the right to pour beans onto them. Oh, it's me, that's me. Okay, oh dear, you never want to turn around and see yourself there. Speaking of which, Rob, can you stand up? Yeah. And maybe just turn around so people can see you. You might remember this man from last time as well, but if not, this will be a very strange experience for you. Rob Polk is a man who looks identical to me. He's not related to me, he's not a family member, and it only came about by coincidence that we even met. Well, he's at one of my shows. But Rob looks, and I will get... In fact, do you want to come on stage just so I can introduce you? Rob looks disturbingly like me. He's got his glasses on at the moment, so you don't get the full effect, but... So there you go. It's basically the same actual man. Earlier we did a bit for the news where I put on Rob's spare pair of glasses as well, and we couldn't even remember who was who. At the moment Rob's got slightly more facial hair, but we'll address that during the show, and I'm planning to grow mine through the natural process. So basically, obviously I'm quite busy doing this, so it's going to be hard for me to actually live my life. So Rob is being sponsored to essentially be me for the 27 hours. Last time we did stuff like we sent him to sign some books for me as me. But that Rob could only do a few hours last time because he'd had a stroke or something. Sounds flippant, but it's true, isn't it? That was, yeah. This time he has no stroke. He had a stroke. I think you meant to say it in a graver tone, but Rob had a stroke last time. This time Rob is not imminently going to die, so he's able to do more of the show. So I feel like I should, I'll set you a like quite low level. I'm trying to think what the things that I need doing. There's going to be some quite big stuff later in the day, obviously. Well, just for now, actually, if you could just sort of hold that for me, because I'm struggling to hold that and the mic. Just stay there for a bit while there we go, perfect. Okay. The Amazing Race. 2 people are racing to the venue. One of them is Matt Ewins, comedian. He's coming from Peterborough. The other person is a man called Bruno. He's coming from Dover. We reckon they're about the same, about 75 miles each. So any minute now, I'm going to make my first attempt trying to hook up with one of them. They've come to it in different ways. Bruno was, until a few days ago, planning to hitchhike to the show from the Czech Republic, from a place called Brno in the Czech Republic. Well, that's the only reason why he was going to do that. then there was the shooting in the Czech Republic, and we felt it might not be the time for him to be sort of cavorting around and going, give us some money. So he's just coming from Dover, because that would have been the last leg. He's quite psyched up to do it, and plans to, he believes he can walk from Dover. It's about, on Google Maps, it is about 27 hours walk, but if he stops and has a wee or something, it's over. The other guy, Matt Ewins, is a shambolic, normally drunk comedian who has got almost no chance of making it from Peterborough. He agreed to do it months ago, then he forgot, then this week he thought, ah, fuck. But it's too late now. So he's in Peterborough, Bruno's in Dover.
20 seconds.
Oh, Christ. Is it? Oh, we're about to celebrate the first hour. That's how quickly it goes. We almost missed the landmark there. Okay, so we'll just watch this come round, and then there's quite a few more things we need to do.
9, 8,
Oh, we've hardly started.
6,
I've got so much to tell you about.
4, 3, 2, 1.
1 hour. 1 hour of comedy. If I told you that, they would say he did the show, though. 1 hour. 1 hour is what most stand-up shows are, and even after some of them, you're like, that was maybe 10 minutes too much. So if anything from now is sort of good value, I think.